here I am on the pathway down to Great Bay, where I'm going to do the next sediment sample. When we get down there, I hope there's going to be plenty of sediment. Low tide's around 11 o'clock, so fingers crossed. But before we head down the path, I'm just going to show you the amazing view up here on St Martin's and the Isles of Scilly. Seems like I've happened upon paradise. How amazing is this? Oh, it's so beautiful. It seems like people have been helping to clear the beach and they've piled up the rubbish that has been washed ashore just on the end of the path here. We've got, I don't know, I suppose it depends, people might just dump their own rubbish here. There's a Cornish coffee cup, looks like sweet wrappers, lots of rope obviously. Sauce sachet I think down there, lots of net, just become a sort of general dumping ground unfortunately. Iron brew cans, it's a shame because they're kind of recyclable, as well as those plastic bottles which are also recyclable. And funnily enough, there's also a set of earmuffs, so if anybody's got cold ears, here is the place to come, although I wouldn't say today would be the day. It's quite bright out here today, so excuse me if I'm squinting quite a lot. So step one of taking our sediment samples is to don't wear any synthetic clothing, because obviously what we're going to be doing is putting samples into jars, and we don't actually want to have additional fibres that are coming off our clothes in those jars. So here are the 9 jars for our sediment sampling. We take 3 samples from the low water, 3 from the mid water and 3 from the high water line, along a line which is actually running up from the sea to the periphery of the beach. And what we're going to do in a second is put some of the deionised water in them to rinse them out, before then taking a little trowel, which I'm going to give a wash for. Here's a little trowel. I'm going to give that a wash as well, and then I'm going to go and scoop some sand into each of these jars, and I'll show you how in a second. So I'm just going to use my headphones because it's a bit windy out here and I'm not sure you'll hear me otherwise. What we've got is the Book of Science. It literally says the Book of Science. There you go. It's the Clean Seas Odyssey Book of Science, and what we've been doing is jotting down all of the locations that we've taken our sediment samples. So I'm going to write today's date, which is the 12th of July 2018, and we're going to write space for the latitude and the longitude of where we're taking our sample, which I'll write up in a second, and I'm also going to write a space for the time, so that they can look at what the tidal height is at the moment that we're taking the samples. I'm going to write a little bit about the type of beach it is, which I would say it's a coarse sandy beach. I'd say that the granite area or granite rock in the surrounding area. Those little jumping things. I should probably know the name of these, but I don't know what they are. They're jumping all over the place, biting me. Get off. And then what we're going to do is write down the samples we're going to take. So last time we were in the Scillies. We had S1 as our sample site on St Mary's. So this is going to be site S2. And we're going to do a low water A, a low water B, and a low water C. And we're also then going to do a medium water and a high water A, B and C similarly. And then after we've done that, I'm going to just write down a little bit about the weather. So we've had generally sunny weather with little rain. Any rain really. It's been pretty dry here on the Scillies. And then I'm also going to write a little bit about the wind which I think has been generally northeast for 2 to 3 days. And I think it's come up, so it's been sort of a force 2 and it's come up to about a force 4 today, judging by the white horses. Right, so it's going to mark up the jars now, so we can make sure that we know, and when they get back to the lab, they know which one came from which location. So we'll have S2LA, and we write that on the lid, and we write it on the jar itself, S2LA, and then we'll write S2LB, and the same on the lid, S2LC. Right, so that's our high water 3 and our mid water 3 and our low water 3. So let's go and fill up our jars. Here we're at the shoreline, literally. There is the water. And we're going to do 3 sediment samples here. And what we have been asked to do is to pick up 10 centimetres worth of the surface sediment. So we do that in 3 locations, about 30 centimetres apart. Just going to try and film doing the last one. What I've just done is shaken the jar and thrown the water that we used, the deionized water, to clean the jar. Disposed of that away from the site that I'm going to be actually taking the sediment from. So that's what we're going to do now. Trying to avoid putting too much organic material in there. Well, obviously plastic isn't organic material, but what I mean is more like stuff that's going to degrade and be horribly and smelly in the lab. So that's it. Sort of our jar now full. We'll see what happens as the water rises to the top, but what I'm not going to do is throw that out, just in case that contains particles of plastic, which the guys would like to analyse. And there's our 3 sediment samples from our low water line. So we're now going to try and do the mid water location, and it's easier to put the phone in the sand this time round, rather than with all that seawater potentially falling on it. So I'm just going to give each of these guys, these are our mid water ones that I've labelled up already, I'm just going to give these a bit of a shake, and this one too, just to clean out, because the jars didn't arrive with the lids on. We don't know that they're sterile, and here they've been around the boat, so just trying to make sure that they're clean. So I'm just going to empty the water out behind the camera, and same with this one. When I do it, I just put the jars next to the lids so they don't get mixed up, and make sure they get the right lid and the right jar, because of course they're both labelled. So it's not exactly the most exciting activity in some ways, but I find it quite fun. I mean, it can't not be fun really. So I'm on a beach in the Scillies in beautiful sunshine, scooping sand into jars. It's like being a kid again, basically. In fact, Peter Wynne, who joined us from Plymouth and came out to the Scillies with us, I think really enjoyed the muddy samples in the rivers. You get to wallow in mud and put mud into jars. It's all good fun. So that's our first one filled. We're looking for sort of 10 centimetre diameter sort of sample circle, so that'll be the best description. And we haven't been asked to wash the scoop in between, because this is like an averaging process, just in case there's I don't know, you might describe it as a bit of bird poo or something or other that happens to just be unique about that 10 centimetre area. So we're doing this. Taking the surface and putting that in the jar. That's our C. Going to come here, so we're looking for sort of about 30 centimetres in between each of them. And so we're going to go with here. I know, I'm judging it. Anyway, there we go. 3 sediment samples filled. So it's quite difficult to choose exactly which high water mark to use. We're using, at the moment, I'm trying to use the one which is kind of where the most recent high water has been, which seems around about here. Alternatively, we could go for more like the top of the beach, which would be the really high springs high water mark. But one thing we can see about this tide line, for example, is that there's already bits of plastic in it. So, for example, it looks like there's a sweet stick there, like a sweet stick. Oh, actually, it's a cotton bud ear stick, I think. Yeah, because it's got little markings on both ends. There's a bit of blue plastic bag there. The blue, you can see that. Stick those together and pick those up. Yeah, and just generally bits of debris around the place. So the question is, do we take our sediment sample here, or do we go further up the beach? And I think for now we'll take it here, and have a look what's further up the beach and see what we can just bag and take as examples. Propping up the foam with seaweed, always good fun. Not quite as entertaining as David Attenborough, I imagine. There we go. Number 2. Get the jam jar lids on nice and tight. Don't spill any or acquire anything. And then we're done. So I'm just heading back up the hill now, saying goodbye to Great Bay. It's like a lovely wind out there, and that ketch is certainly moving pretty well. I just wanted to show you some of the bits I also picked up. So on the walking past I found a plastic bottle, so I just picked that up off the beach as well. But I also wanted to show you the lovely honeysuckle, which the bees love around here, and they're also going for the brambles, which are just starting to come out.